it's me. Long time since a goal video, right? The last one I did, I went back and looked, and the last goal video I did was in April, and I had to rewatch it to remember what my goals were back then. I haven't been doing the goal videos, not because I haven't been working on my goals. I have. My kids were out for the summer, and it was really hard to make any videos with them. They're noisy. I just gave up and was like, for my mental peace, I need to just let this go until they get back to school. I even tried to go out once in my garden. I did a garden video, you may have seen that, and they had not left me alone during that, but I still thought, oh, maybe I can do one here sitting in my garden, and it didn't happen. So I'm going to go back over my April goals and kind of talk about things we've done since then, so that we can then move on to current goals and my 100-day goal and what that's about. So for April, for personal and health goals, I'm looking at notes, sorry if I'm looking down. I had put down that I needed to exercise 4 times a week, which I did, and I was good about that April, May, and the first half of June. And then when my kids got out of school, I didn't exercise all summer. I think I took my dog for 3 walks. So that was great for April and for a couple months after, but a habit I need to get back into. I had also had in April that I needed to prep for my husband's graduation party. We had that first week of May. It was awesome. He got his master's degree as a nurse practitioner. He's taking the boards in September, so pray for him. I put that I would have a scrap day. I did not. I did try in the summer to do a scrap day, and I realized that I need to go through my photos. I have not uploaded or printed any photos for all of 2018. So in September, I'm gonna do the step of uploading and sorting through those and ordering prints. And then hopefully either in September or October, I can maybe have a scrap day then. Things I carried over from March because I wanted them to be habits, daily routine. Hit and miss over the summer, but I'm back into the groove pretty well on that. Productivity is pretty good. You know what, when I did my video, I talked about a productivity chart. Let me grab that really quick. Excuse the mess in the background of the kitchen. I've been canning, and it's a mess back there, like a total mess back there. So this is something I did. Let me show you a full one because the new one is not really legible. Okay, so this, can you see this? All right, I got this from the Boosted Journal, I think, on YouTube. He's not a channel I watch a lot, but I really liked this idea because when I started doing this, and I've done several of them now, I made it bigger so it would last longer because I think his was that size. What I was struggling with, and a lot of moms struggle with this, I was struggling with the fact that I was really busy all day long, and I was doing stuff all day long, but when it came to the end of the day, I had made no progress on any of my goals and things I wanted to make progress on. And so what this does is it has you checking in and realizing that you're not doing that. Like I'm looking at my daily to-do list, I'm crossing off 3/4 of it, but I still haven't made progress because this works because each of these colored things, see they're color coded down here, you probably can't read them, but they are, they each represent something that I want to make progress on, something important to me to help me prioritize. So, like the dark green is working on my cookbook. The red, see there's my color code down here, is doing a marketing challenge I was working on that day. So every time I do a new chart, I can recolor code these to other things that are important for that time. If I ate well, so my pink, you can see how often that happened, then I could fill in a pink square. And what you're supposed to do is every time you start going around like this. Let me show you the brand new one I just started because that one got full. So you start in the corner and you go up and you fill in this way, and every time you complete a level, you have a prize for yourself down here. I'm not really good at actually following through and rewarding myself. I need to be better about that. But this way, it just really helps you keep focusing on the important things and set aside the unimportant tasks. So that has been really, I think I'm on my 10th one now because it has been really helpful to me because that was something I struggled with. I didn't struggle with doing stuff, I struggled with doing the right stuff. So that's really helped me. So productivity, that was one of my April goals that I wanted to carry over, and I've been working on that. I did not I was productive over the summer, but with the kids here, it was a slow productivity, and sometimes I forgot to fill in my chart. Resting appropriately. I've been pretty good about the resting now. I have been consciously choosing to rest in ways that rejuvenate me, because I could sit there and waste time and call it rest, but I'm not rejuvenated. And so part of my whole rest thing on my list was to figure out and engage in rest that felt restful, if that makes sense. Also on the personal and health in April was to drink 6 glasses of water a day. Probably not. I don't remember how I did in April, but I haven't been doing good at that, but I want to. That maybe it's September goals. Okay, home and garden things back then were to plant the garden, which I did. I did post a garden tour once this summer. We had killer heat. We always have killer heat, but we had killer heat this year. It got to 116 one day. It pretty much killed off everything, because even though it came down from 116, it stayed at like 108, 109, and so the plants never really got a reprieve, and that was rough. I did get a lot of tomatoes and cucumbers though, and I'm looking out my window at the garden to see. I still have some small yellow tomatoes, but the plant itself is dying. I planted zucchini late, so those are just now starting to come out. Let's see. Oh, I had down in April to do more lemons. I did end up processing all the lemons on my tree, and it is now full with baby green ones that are usually ripe sometime in December, January. I purged my kids' bathroom. In fact, I did more than purge their bathroom. I completely took everything out. I purged it. I repainted it. In the process of redecorating it, I have an idea of what I want as far as shower curtain and bath mat and towels, and I'm afraid to do it because I don't want them to mess it up before we sell the house. Because it involves a lot of white. But I do have baskets sitting in my living room that need to go to like reorganize the shelves that they have in there. So that one was a check plus on that. I also did purge my shed in April. I actually gave the stuff I purged to my daughters, and they had a yard sale with some of their stuff and my craft stuff because they wanted to have money. So I let them just have it. Weekly cleaning. I did okay on that. I will talk in a minute about a new schedule I'm trying that's working better for me in that. And I did purge my clothes in April too. That was on my April list. I went through a lot of my clothes and got rid of quite a bit. As far as work goals, to get my cookbook ready, my cookbook is ready. In fact, here's a proof copy right here. This will be out at the end of September, so that will be revisited in my September goals section. I wanted to blog 8 times in April. I should have checked on that. I blogged a lot in April. I wasn't sure if it was 8 times. I did not blog a lot over the summer though, and I need to. And email list building, I didn't really work on that, or I did one small thing and it wasn't very successful, but it was small. And anyways, so catching up now. Here we are about to start September. And if you watched one of my old goal videos, you know that in my long-term goals, one of the things we want to do is move. And we are now on the countdown for that. We would love to move next summer. So I'm starting to add things to my list, like getting little things done in the house so that we can sell it. We've been scoping out places to move. By the way, we want to move to like East Tennessee, close to like right in the Appalachian area. If you have any suggestions of great little towns in there, list them in the comments. I would love to, because we have spent so much time in Tennessee and North Carolina, and we love some areas, but we've not felt connected necessarily to an area. So suggestions I am willing to take, because we're hoping to go back the first week of November and decide on a place. So some of these goals for September are going to be starting to do with the move, even though it's like 9-10 months off, because I don't want to be stressed at the last minute. I want to purge through things now. Yes, I know I will purge again while I'm packing, but there will be less purging to do. One of the things in my home goals is to start using up the pantry and the freezer stuff. So I'm going to kind of be doing pantry challenge-ish, low-key. I'm not going to limit myself to just using the pantry stuff, and I can only go to the grocery store for fresh fruit and milk or anything like that. But I am going to start looking at things in there and being like, what do I think might not be used up? What am I overlooking? And pulling a few things out each week to work with and try to focus and try to And I'm gonna start that really lightly in September. Also want to make room in my deep freezer because November, December, January have good meat sales, and I don't have much meat in there now. I want to stock up. But really, I'm going to start just kind of using things. And so my meal plans might look a little different if you see the meal plan videos. If you want to know how I'm trying to figure that stuff out and work with it, let me know. I'll try to make a video or two about my mental process that I'm still figuring out for starting to use some things up. So home goals, just starting. I don't have a numerical thing. I don't want like a certain shelf completely empty or anything like that, but starting to use stuff up. If in a month I go into my pantry or freezer and there's more room than there used to be, then I've done well. Okay, another home goal is to finish canning. I've got some more jelly to make. I've got some pesto I need to make. I've got a few more peaches on my tree that I would like to freeze for smoothies in the winter. I think that's it. I think after that I'll be done with canning and I can put away my canner that's taking up space on my stove and getting in my way a lot. Put it up for this year. Another home and garden goal for September is to clean out the garden. It's pretty close to dead right now, and so I want to clean out all the dying stuff. We don't plant fall gardens here until like November, so I would like to plant a few things, but that's not going to be a September goal here. It's going to be 95 today, so you know, we're here in Southern California, we're still hot. Another home and garden goal, home goal, is to purge the living room. I had the kids go through the videos already, and they surprised me with how much they were willing to get rid of. But in the living room, we also have a desk with a computer for the kids, and a lot of paperwork and stuff is in there, and I know some of it can be tossed. And so I would like to go through the drawers, like our organizer under the TV, stuff like that. That will be pretty quick, but it's going to be a while of sorting and purging through paperwork, but I have a lot of paperwork I want to sort and purge through. So living room is this month. I think that's it for home and personal. Just, you know, I'm trying to use up, the pantry thing's really the big thing for me right now because I'm really trying to both use stuff up and also predict how long it takes me to go through like a Costco size thing of something. Like, the next time I run out, do I want to get it at Costco again, or do I want to get a smaller package like at Target or Walmart, because maybe I won't use that up before we move. I'm hoping it'll kind of help me predict how quickly I go through things. I've started putting dates on some things, like I open a package of Ziploc bags and put the date on it so that when I run out, I know how long it took me to go through it. I made notes. Let me see. Stuff on how long before we guide my buying. I'm hoping that will help me guide my buying as well. I'm not going to worry about trying to use up the things that I know we will use. We will use canned tomatoes. I have a ton of jars of chicken broth in the freezer that I homemade, and we will use those, and I'll probably have to restock with my own again in the winter. I'm just going to really be focusing on the stuff that may or may not get used. Like, I was just out there yesterday and I noticed a bottle of ponzu sauce, which I've never used. I know I bought it for a recipe to try, and then I couldn't remember what recipe. Am I the only person who does that? Like, buys stuff for a recipe and then it sits there while you're trying to remember what recipe or where you put it or where you wrote it down. So stuff like that's what I'm going to start with. Things that I'm not sure will be used up. We'll get them out of the way. Spices, I buy a lot at either at Costco or in bulk at Winco, and I need to know how fast I'm going through those. Do I need to buy it in bulk again, or maybe a small little jar somewhere? I know I have a lot of cans of pumpkin out there, so I will not be buying any more canned pumpkin this year. We have pumpkins in the front yard, which is a funny story. So I'm probably actually going to have a lot of pumpkin recipes on my blog, dailyration.net, if you want pumpkin recipes this fall. Let's see. I'm trying to decide if I want to include the monthly pantry stuff as part of the monthly goals. Like, should I update you guys? Do you want to know how I'm doing in the pantry? Let me know. And also, I wrote down a question. Is there anything special you do to use up pantry stuff? Like, do you have any tricks, like dumping everything together in a soup or something like that, that you use when you're doing like a pantry challenge and trying to use stuff up? What do you do? If you have tips, love to know. Those are all my home goals. Moving on to personal, 2 of them. 1, I already talked about uploading photos. I think I am on March of this year. I started marking them off, started writing down, marking off, so I would know where I left off as far as sorting through them, uploading them, getting rid of what's blurry or what have you, cropping, and then I will upload them all at once to order, probably from Shutterfly. So that's a personal goal for September. My other one, I'm going to start a 100-day goal. Now, progress will be reported at the end of September, but the 100-day goal doesn't end until December 10th, I think. So my 100-day goal, at the beginning of this year, I had two goals. One was to pay off as much debt as I could, and the other one was to get healthier. And I have made progress on the health. But like, I lost 10 pounds over the summer, which is great, but I've stagnated. To be truthful, I lost most of that at the beginning of summer, and I just luckily have not gained it back, but I haven't continued my progress. And so I decided I'm going to do a 100-day goal, which is something groups of people do, but it's also something you can do by yourself, and that people do it several times a year. This is my first time doing it, but to really just focus on ending this year well with my health. And that's going to include walking every day, because I have yet to form the habit of walking several times a week. And I thought, if I could do it every day for 100 days, even if it's a little teeny tiny amount of walking, then that would form the habit for me, so that afterwards I could throw in some other exercise or do it 3 or 4 days a week, but be habitual about it. So walking every day and drinking the water are going to be a big part of that. Eating healthy, I'm still going to sit down and define what that's going to look like for the next 100 days, how restrictive I'm going to be. But my purpose with this is to end the year strong with my health. That includes mental and physical and spiritual health. And also, I figured doing it now would be strategic, because coming into the holidays with all the junk around, being so focused on this, and by the time that gets here, it'll be the tail end of it. It'll be like, I'll be stronger in that area, I think, and it won't set me back. Usually, I get set back every December. My goal is to not get set back this December. So just those two personal goals, the 100-day goal for my health, and upload the photos, or finish sorting through the photos so that I can upload them, so that next month I can have a scrap day. Final goals, work. Okay, I mentioned that I would talk about changing my routine. So working at home, I write curriculum and cookbooks, for those of you who don't know, and I have a food blog for that. I have a curriculum blog too, I just don't post there very often. Working at home can be hard to, how do I put this? Hard to separate things that are happening. And I would plan, like, this week I'm going to work on this, but then your week's really interrupted. Part of the reason I stay home is so that I can do things like go to my kids' assemblies, lunch on the lawn. Things get in, there's something all the time that gets in the way of working at home. And I'm not just talking about the fact that you have to put blinders on and ignore the laundry, and the fact that the dining room table where I'm working right now is a mess. I was trying to separate my days by what I could do, what time. Like, I could do early in the day, I could do work on my cookbook or my curriculum. Later in the day, I could do cleaning. Trying to shove things in little corners here and there. And what I've decided to try this year, and I've been doing it 3 weeks now, and it's actually working pretty well. Thank goodness something's finally working for me, is I'm not worrying about working a certain amount of days or hours each week. My husband's schedule is all over the place. He doesn't have like the same days of work each week. And then there's my kids' schedule. And so what I decided to do was look at the days that I am home alone all day. There's only 2 or 3 a week. On a good week, there's 3. Those will be work days. From the time I get back from dropping off my kids until the time I have to go pick them up, those are now dedicated work days. All the other stuff, the cleaning, the gardening, the going to the kids' classes, stuff like that, those will be on days that I'm not home alone all day. So I have to plan my work days around everyone else's schedule, but those work days are more dedicated. And I find that doing that separation of whole days is making me more prolific and productive at work, but it also is helping me get more of my cleaning and organizing done, more of my house goals and repairs and things done. Hopefully it'll help me plan in some more time for scrapbooking. So that is the change. The biggest change in my routine is changing from hours and pockets of time to full days dedicated. Work day, home day is how I define it. So with that, my work goals right now, I have, as I mentioned, the cookbook is finally coming out September 30th, pre-orders September 15th. It will be available on Amazon, both in Kindle and print format. And I might have it available a few other places. It's exciting, but I'll make that announcement when it actually happens. So it's still being translated by the Kindle people right now. So really I'm trying to get everything set up so I'm ready to actually launch it. I need the carts ready to open and make sure everything works, all that stuff. So the big thing for September work-wise is gonna be a successful launch of the cookbook that I've been working on for 2 years now. Also keep up with my food blogging. I really love food blogging. And you know, I started it kind of as a way just to, I don't know why I started it, but I really fell in love with food blogging. And so that is a type of work that also, it's not, I won't say it's restful, but it rejuvenates me a little bit. It's the fun part of work. Like everyone has their favorite thing they love to do at their job and their thing that they don't like to do. I don't like to do the techie stuff, but I do like to do the cooking, the photographing, the blogging about the food. And then I also, in my curriculum store, have been working on several multiplication projects, and I would like to finish those by the end of September and have them in my store. It's the time of year where that stuff sells well, so I want to get it there. I have other ideas of stuff I want to do after that, but my big thing is to get all those multiplication pieces in place, because that's been a fun project too, especially having my kids try stuff for me. So that is it for September goals. Pretty much, you know, for home, quick recap: home, finish canning, clean out the garden, purge the living room, start working on the pantry clean out. Personal 100-day goal: photo upload, work, keep on the changing routine, launch the cookbook, blog, and work on the multiplication projects. So those are the short version of that. If you do goal videos, please send me to your channel. I love it. It inspires me and motivates me, kind of like clean with me videos kind of make you want to clean your place. Watching other people's goal videos helps me stay focused on my goals. And it's also fun to celebrate together when you actually get stuff done. So exciting things happening right now. Let me know, like I said, if you have goal videos, and if you want to see updates on the pantry clean out, separate video, same video, I don't know. Give me your input. I'm a little lost right now with that, as far as maybe I just don't have it all worked out in my head. So that is it for the September goals. I will see you at the end of the month with an update for that. And until then, there will be a few videos in between. I have some cooking videos planned. And do you want to see purging videos? Good question. Let me know. All right. Have a good day, guys.